Hey Ninja Squad, welcome to the TENfold podcast, and I'm your host, Rachel Everington, wife, mother, agency owner, and entrepreneur, lover of coffee, music, and organization. I'm here to help people better and empower themselves to create and build an amazing life and career that they want and dream of by having powerful conversations, sharing other stories, providing motivation and inspiration that your dreams and passion is possible. Every month, our guests and I will be sharing our stories, our perspectives, and our knowledge on productivity, mindset, money, relationships, mental health, basically anything from light to heavy topics. I'll be dropping new episodes every first and third Tuesday of the month, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. Hey Ninja Squad, welcome back to the TENfold podcast. I'm super excited you guys are here. We are on episode 1, yay! So I just want to talk about a little bit more about moi today, because why not? And if you guys haven't checked out the trailer, please go check it out. It talks a little bit more about why we started the podcast and a little bit of my journey, how we got here. So just to give you guys a little quick overview, the reason why I want to talk about myself and my entrepreneur journey is because so that you guys understand who you're listening to and the type of podcast you're going to listen to every single month. And I hope you guys enjoy the ride and enjoy the journey with me. And so this is my creative outlet, and I want to talk about all the things. So I don't want to restrict myself and literally just talk about business and business all the time. There's a lot of podcasts that are exactly like that. So if this is not your jam, that's totally okay. There's plenty of amazing entrepreneurial podcasts, business podcasts that you can listen to. But doesn't mean I'm not going to talk about business. I will definitely talk a lot about business and entrepreneurial life, but I also want to talk about other things that matter, family, love, money, relationships, mental health, and just for, educational purposes, but also to have story time with whether that be my story or stories from our guests that we're going to have, which I'm super excited about, but also just light topics. Maybe there's going to be a guest and all we talk about is about cats and dogs, or maybe about Babysitter's Club, the book or the movie, or even just have a book review. So I just want to have a mix of a little bit of everything. I just love connecting with people and getting to know them as people. As you would probably have heard in my trailer, if you haven't, again, check it out. If you haven't listened to it yet, I believe people by people and not people by businesses. So that is why I love connecting with people. You could even ask my team members where they see my calendar and I have coffee chats with either our team members, current clients, and just random people on the internet that I feel like are very interesting and have a story to tell. So that is what the podcast is going to be all about. So I really hope that not only does it become educational and of value to you, but it also becomes entertaining for you guys as well. So let's get started on my journey. So how I got started as an entrepreneur was pretty simple. I knew when I was younger, I was made to do more, be more. I know I wanted to be my own boss, but I didn't know how that looked like. I honestly didn't think it was going to be even possible, just because I came from a typical Filipino family. All they could think was, to have a career as a lawyer or a doctor or a dentist, one of those professional careers. And it was never really outside the box, to be a photographer or a blogger, and that's totally okay. I feel like in our world today, some people are still thinking that way. But I did the usual, life scenarios. I, went to school, I went to college, I took a certification program, and then I worked. So fast forward, I ended up in a corporate setting, a corporate job, which I feel like was always my life. I had been working since I was 15 and a half, and I worked with, different people, various jobs. It could have been being a waitress or host at a restaurant or a retailer, and then eventually became an office setting. So either I was an office clerk, an administrative assistant, executive assistant, legal assistant, And so, I think I got a lot of experience in different ways. And so I'm really grateful, actually, really grateful for all those experiences. And I think it has to do some parts of it helped me become the person and the entrepreneur that I am today. But I had landed in a legal assistant firm. And there's a back end story to that, which I'm going to save for another time. But I was a legal assistant for a very short period of time. And I can tell you now that the student loans that I had racked up was such a fail because I never ended up actually becoming like a legal assistant long term. So I think I was probably 30,000 or maybe 40,000 in debt. I think I'll confirm that another day. But I was probably there for like maybe less than a year. And then I got offered a position in a much larger company, a corporate, your typical brick and mortar corporate company. And as a administrative assistant in their head office location. And I was there for 8 years. That had to be the longest job I ever had. And which I actually surprised myself too, because I don't think I ever stayed at a job for more than a year or 2 years. Probably 2 years was the most. And then I ended up having this corporate job. But I think the reason why I stayed for so long was because it was fast paced. I really did what I felt like I was really good at and passionate about. Good people. It was always ever changing. So it was never quite boring. And so then fast forward to that, during that time in corporate, my husband and I, we were trying to create a family, and it took us 6 years to conceive. And so when I had the baby, we get 1 year of mat leave up in Canada. And so I took that mat leave. And then when I was about to come back, I really didn't want to come back. But I gave it a chance, knowing though, because I was still talking to some people in that job of what was going on while I was out of, on mat leave. And I knew that when me coming back, there was going to be new people, management has changed. And so I was excited for it too, because again, I'm up for change. I'm the type of person who doesn't shy away from change. I'm actually always excited about it and see what comes out of it. But I did end up going back, and all I could think of was I wanted to be home. I wanted to be home with my kid. This was the miracle that I had been waiting for all my life, and I kept thinking, like, what am I doing here? And so I really didn't want to miss out on all those special moments with my kid, right? Even right now, I feel like I'm going to get all choked up and start crying because those moments are really special, and I'm really happy everything turned out the way it did. So when I was ready, I had a conversation with my husband saying I wanted to be home. I wanted to work from home / be a stay-home mom. We made the plan months before I had given my notice. And so when I did, it was March 2016 is when I dropped out of corporate. And I didn't quite know what I was going to do. I told everybody that I was going to just be a stay-home mom, but I knew that it was definitely more to that. I knew I had a plan. I didn't know what the plan was yet. And I think I just kept it close to the vest because, people and their opinions, right? And so when I was searching, prior to actually leaving, I was searching what I could do working from home. And so there was various things, being like a customer service support for corporate companies, being a blogger, a vlogger on YouTube. And so nothing was clicking. And then I think I was on Pinterest and I saw a blog that was talking about being a virtual assistant and being able to work from home and building a business. And so the more I dived into that research, I realized it was something that I kind of did in the past already. I just didn't know it was a thing. I was working from home and I would work with lawyers with their private practice, transcribing to them or completing any paperwork or emailing their clients. And so I didn't realize it was a thing, that there was these contractors that built a business and able to support multiple people to provide that type of service. And that was the aha moment for me. And I was excited about it because I knew that's what I was good at and that's what I love. I do love the mundane, tedious type of tasks, the admin tasks, in addition to just being someone's right-hand person and leading any projects or leading any task and making those decisions with, management or a CEO. So when I had quit my job, I was super excited and super scared at the same time. I was like, oh shit, what am I going to do? I don't have any foundation that I have set up yet because I was still in research mode. And so the more I dived deep, it was literally the day after I left my job, like the day after that was my last day. Something clicked and I said, okay, now it's go time. Like, I'm officially out of my job. I officially don't have a job. So I immediately purchased a domain on Squarespace and I set up my Squarespace website in like less than 4 hours. I was having fun with it. That's why it was like so easy for me to do. And just learning and playing with that. And so I had to set that up. Then I'm like thinking like, now what? And I found some support. I found support in blogs and also Facebook groups. And so I learned and soaked up all the information that I can, and really it just snowballed from there. So that is how I all got started. And again, there's many stories to this journey, but I'll kind of like stay like straight to the point of how this all started and where I am now today. But basically, as you guys know, as I mentioned, I started my business because I wanted more time freedom and financial freedom. I wanted to be home with my kid. So that's what inspired me to, go into business and choosing the field that I wanted to be in because I was good at it and that's what I loved. And that was executive assistance. Like I had multiple jobs from host, retail, office clerk, administrative assistant, executive assistant, and legal assistant. So it was just natural to me where, again, there's that level of support that I was giving to someone else. And that was the impact that I wanted to make. I knew that time freedom was very valuable, and the fact that I can provide that to somebody else brought me joy, right? I felt like more and more people need to experience this time freedom and financial freedom, right? And not only with clients, I knew I wanted to build a team. I wanted to build a big business. And that was the other part of the impact I wanted to make, was be able to bring on a team where it gave them the time freedom and financial freedom as well. That brought me so much joy. And so that's how my journey just all began, and being able to support my team and being able to support my clients in the goals that they wanted to make, both personal and business. So my biggest inspirations to become an entrepreneur was just anything that I saw on YouTube that provided motivation. I don't have a particular person at that time, but now what really drives me is people like Gary Vee, as an example. Now, I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I just love his attitude of kindness and life is too short and do what you love and love what you do, and having that grit, right? And just being inspired and motivated. That is what I see in Gary Vee, or people like Gary Vee. So those are the people that continuously inspire me to become an entrepreneur and a better person. And I know if some of you are interested in jumping into the entrepreneurial world, especially the VA world, I really didn't need much training. I really was depending on the skills that I already had in the corporate world and transitioning that over to the online world. And it's still a whole new world. There's still new things that you have to learn when you're pivoting into the online world. And I think what has helped me really go full throttle in my business, from earning like $500 a month to basically $10K a month, is hiring the right mentors and coaches. It would every year it skipped from a large increment. So, the first year it would be 5K a month. The next year, second year in my business, it would be 10K a month. And my third year in business, it would be like, I think it still continued like 10 to 15. And then, the fourth year, 20K a month. So it continues to grow and grow. And that is because I had hired mentors and coaches to help me out. Now, there are some coaches and mentors that I feel like regurgitate the same type of information. However, the way they deliver it or the type of people that they are, the personality type, makes a difference. There's always a golden nugget with every mentor coach that I have worked with, whether that be a group coaching program, whether it be a quick one-on-one session for 1 hour, or actually hiring them for one-on-one long-term. So, I do highly suggest you investing in hiring a coach or a mentor if you are very serious in building and scaling your business. It really helps to hire people who have been there, done that. I think you'll just get there sooner versus trying to figure it out all on your own. And then like long term, again, I go back to life is too short. So I don't want to be spending 10 years trying to figure out how to get to, $1 million goal. I rather hire coaches and get me on the right path and implementing the strategies and mindset to it to get me there faster. So that is basically my story. So there's definitely ups and downs. One of the biggest lessons that I've learned along the way is patience. And I laugh because sometimes I feel like I feel like I am the most patient person you will ever meet. But at the same time, when it comes to me and the expectations of myself, I'm definitely impatient. And I think we are our biggest critics, right? So when I talk about patience, I talk about patience in your journey in getting there, and trusting God or the universe, whatever you believe in, that it will work itself out as long as you're doing the work. But on the opposite end of that, I am impatient because I always start to think like, if I had done this or invested in this, I should be already at X farther away into my business and been more successful and be earning this much cash. So, but I think that's a blessing and a curse to have that type of mentality. But I am more mindful when those type of mindset starts to settle in. I try to say, okay, you need to relax, Rachel, and just enjoy the process, and also understand how far I've come. Not to look how much farther I have to go, but look back and see how far I've come. And I am reminded of that by my team, by my mentors, by people I'm with in the mastermind. And so I'm trying to be more accepting to that I have done a lot, and have grown a lot. So that is definitely something that I would ask you to look in yourself when you are building a business, if you choose to, or anything that you want to set your mind to in reaching a specific goal in life or business, is giving yourself that grace and having the patience for it. One of the main questions that I get to when I work with other virtual assistants to help them build and grow their business is some of them don't realize their power. And so I am there to let them know they do have power. They do have the skill. They do have the skill and the intelligence and the mindset to do what they want to do. So when I realized what my power was honestly hearing it from other coaches that were on Facebook Lives or on YouTube, as well as hearing it from the clients that I had, knowing that I made a difference in their lives and in their business was the light bulb moment for me, that that was my superpower. And it was such a great feeling, such a great experience to see that light bulb moment on their end of what has been achieved working with me. So so that was it. And that is definitely all my story. There's obviously more stories that's attached to all of that, but I want to save those in a different episode because it will be more focused on a topic or a lesson. So please come back and look out for those fun episodes because I love storytelling. There's just so much to tell, and of course I'm not going to be here recording for like hours on end. But if you guys have any questions about my story, please feel free to leave a comment below, whether you are listening on the podcast or watching the YouTube channel. I'd appreciate it so much. I'm more than happy to respond to it. And if you guys have any ideas of the type of guests that you would like to see on our show or topics that you would like us to discuss, again, please feel free to comment below and let us know. You can also check the website, theexecutiveninja.com. Under the blog tab, I believe, you will be able to see the show notes and be able to listen it on there and even leave a comment on there as well. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm looking forward to see what you guys think, and be on the lookout for next week's episode. It's going to be a very, very special episode. You'll know why soon. And it's going to be a good one. I would say, hint, hint, probably best to bring some tissues with you. All right. So I like to end the show with a gratitude. So what I'm grateful for is today, actually, I had such amazing calls with prospects and client calls and team calls today. I'm super, super happy and love connecting with everybody that I'm surrounded with, team, clients, prospects. And I hope to continue that in the weeks to come and the whole year, because, well, last year was a shit show for sure. But I thoroughly enjoy it, networking and connecting with people. So I am totally grateful for today and the conversations that I had today. It was super, super fun. All right. So always remember to count your blessings, not your problems. And I will talk to you soon. Have a great day. Peace out, Ninja Squad. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I appreciate you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and follow me on Instagram at Rachel Everington for more shenanigans. If you do share a podcast, please add hashtag TENfold podcast. And don't forget to join us every first and third Tuesday of the month. You don't want to miss out on all the awesomeness from this show. Peace out, Ninja Squad. No, seriously, get out of here. Love you. Bye.